This is Missoula College construction observation number 2 on June 11th, 2015. There is hundreds of cubic yards of concrete scheduled to be poured tomorrow morning starting at 4 in the morning. And I'm here today looking at reinforcement of the concrete forms. Starting at the northwest corner of the building, this is the Bat Cave area, which is on grids. Basically looking right now at grid D and 0. Doesn't have a grid line, we'll call it D0. But strip footings for the south side of the Bat Cave look great. We've got, as we move to the north, the footing steps as we go to the north side of the Bat Cave. It's just 2 foot wide strip footing with number 5 dowels, 12 inches on center. Everything looks fine. Here we got no issues. Now we're on the north side of the wall, grid line C, and so we have some pilaster footings. Those look fine. What's happening on this section, grid C anyway, is that we have our transverse bars for the 6 foot wide strip footing. They're number 5s at 12 on center, and they are located 2 inches from the top of the footing. We have number 5 dowels on the inside face of the wall that are in place, and those are fine. Still coming are number 5 bar dowels for the outside face of the wall that will be installed on the the north side of the keyway. Go down into the footing and bend at a 90, and then tuck under and extend to within 2 inches of the toe of the footing. Those have yet to be installed, but they see them stacked right here, and there they are. And guys are going to put those in after they're get back from their break. Move along. It's another pilaster footing. What grid are we on here, Michael?
5.
Looks like 5. So all is good with that one. Still putting the dowels in on this strip. Moving along, the wall jogs to the north. That's grid 6. And now we're on grid B. Well, grid B, we don't have too much to pour on grid B because the first pour, as you can see out there, was poured earlier. That's about grid 7 where that first pour stopped. But on grid B, what's happening here is that the wall dowels are not do not extend to the toe of the footing. It should be going to the toe of the footing here, but they're not doing that. So the alternate solution is to put a layer of transverse bars, number 5s, 12 on center, on the top of the footing. What we have right now currently is transverse bars in the bottom of the footing. So the top layer of transverse bars are yet to be added. But the guys know about it and they're going to install it. This pad footing is C7. What size is that one? It's 12 and a half?
Yeah, it's an F12.
12 foot square footing. Design, it calls for 27 inches deep. This is only 24 inches deep, but what's happening is that formwork is going to be added to it so that it can be 27 inches deep. And that's what's happening on some of these other footings, say on grid D. Grid D. So what they have is a standard 2 foot tall form, and then they build a 2x4 on top of that to achieve a 24 or 27 inch thickness. There's several large pad footings on the interior of the building. They vary in size from about 8 foot square to 13.5 foot square, and they're all looking good. Some of the tops of these footings were lowered 12 inches to accommodate some plumbing lines and stuff like that, and you can kind of see that right here. What grid is this one?
9.
This is grid 9.
C9.
So C9. is 1 foot lower than C10, for example. Now the rest of the pads are fine, and in the elevator area, the 5-stop elevator pit, the sump pump is being constructed as we are doing our observation this morning. It's got the proper amount of reinforcement and this little 12-inch square block out right there in the middle of the elevator pit footing. We've got number 14 bars, number 14 dowels that are on some of our footings. Yeah, looks good, Ethan. And then
You're not just saying that, are you?
no, I wouldn't lie to you. Come on.
I hope not.
So number 14 dowels for the interior columns have been placed, and you can see the mechanical splices at the top of those. Okay, so we're looking at which grids are we on here, Michael? Looking at number 14 column dowels, and
11 and 12.
so this is grid 11 and
12 on D.
D, grid D.
That was pretty entertaining.
And 14, here's a close-up shot of the mechanical couplers, splice couplers of this column. It's pretty awesome.
So H and J.
H and J, so at the corner of J13, wall footings, and things are looking good. Pilaster dowels are good, wall dowels are good, and then walking to the west, we've got 2 foot 6 inch wide strip footing with 3 number 4 bars. We've got dowels, number 5 dowels, 18 inches on center both ways. We run into our first pad, which is on J12, and it looks perfect. And then the guys are still putting in dowels for the walls as we speak, getting ready for tomorrow's pour. We got footings as we go to the west, J11, J10. You can see the strip footing between 10 and 11 doesn't have the dowels in there yet. That'll be, we're assuming those will be installed for tomorrow's pour. And guys working away. There's probably 50 or 60 guys out here working, putting in rebar. It's really busy out here. All these footings are looking good. We got now we're at this is G9. So G9. This is a 6 foot square footing of G9, and it's looking good. It actually measures 21 inches deep, which is a couple inches deeper than we specified. Ramification there would be that if it's not coordinated properly, then the verts of the columns will be just a little bit short of the top of the column. So talked to Aaron with Harris Rebar about coordinating that. That's kind of a typical situation along grid G. And then we get to the final pad footing on grid G that has rebar in it is what, G6, and it has rebar in it as specified. That's the last footing to the west in what is known as pour number 5. And then there's guys forming up footings, and there's rebar waiting to be put in there. This is pour 5. It's just they're going to go as far as they can, then it's pencils down, and then they'll pour as much as they can tomorrow. And that's the end of construction observation report number 2, Missoula College. Oh, just get an overall shot here. The site, stand on the south of the site. This is what it looks like. The west, and then over at the east. rebar sticking out of the ground.